Now, there was chaos at the revenue center at Tema Port when security officials stormed the long room to disrupt an engagement between some freight forwarders and officials of the NDC. The NDC had gone to Tema Port to appreciate the challenges associated with the implementation of Unipass and how it's impacting on the business of importers and freight forwarders. The NDC, while engaging the freight forwarders, some port security officials disrupted the engagement, asking the NDC officials to exit the long room at the revenue center. Take a look at what happened. Now, like I said earlier, Kwesi Parker-Wilson was right in the middle of that. It unfolded before his eyes, and he's joined us on the line to give us an account of what exactly transpired. Parker, walk us through what happened from the very beginning.
Okay, so Daniel, we arrived at Tema Port, firstly the Ghana Revenue Center, where the NDC was built to have a meeting with officials or executives of the Freight Forwarders Association, including the Importers and Exporters Association, only to appreciate their challenges, of course, with the implementation of Unipass. So when we got to the venue where they were supposed to meet the executive, the National Communications Officer for the NDC, JoyNews, mentioned that even before they start the engagement, they want to have a view of where the payment is done, the transaction is done, where the alleged manual payment is done, and all of that. So they took them to the long room at the revenue center. Whilst they were there, in fact, we met a number of freight forwarders and importers who would say that they were stranded and have been there for the past 3 weeks and that they've not been able to pay their money for their goods to be cleared. So the NDC, including Dr. Tiogaba and Isaac Adongo and Sami Jemfi, wanted to have an engagement with them briefly at the long room. So whilst they were having the communication, some security personnel, I'm told they were task force of the Tema Port, stormed the long room and asked that they should leave. In fact, the freight forwarders there and the clearing agents resisted that. They didn't want to leave because they wanted to let the NDC understand their concern. So the task force or the security officials had no option than to start pushing them, showing them, and asking them to exit the hall. So it became a bit of confrontation between some of the clearing agents and the security officials. Of course, for the NDC members, including Isaac Adongo, one of the security guys was trying to show him, and he asked him not to show him. He's going to leave quietly. He came here to understand the problem and that he was exiting. So whilst they were exiting, some of the clearing agents and the importers were hooting at the security officials and saying that the system is not working. They want the system to work. They should bring back Red Blue and GCNet, and that the Unipass is something they don't want.
Right.
They need to make sure that at least they bring everything that will make their work very easy for them. So this is exactly what happened at the revenue center here at Tema Port, Daniel.
What reason did the officials give for storming the premises?
We are yet to speak to the official because the NDC just to the venue where they are having a meeting with the officials of the importers and then the freight forwarders. So right after this, in fact, one of the officials called me and said that he's ready and available to speak. So right after here, we'll get engagement from me and understand why the security officials came to disrupt.
Has anyone been arrested? Has anyone been arrested?
No, these are security officials working here, and there hasn't been any arrest so far. They were just asking them to exit the hall because they didn't have any authorization to have a meeting at the long room.
Thank you very much, Parker. Now let's get some reactions from Isaac Adongo and Dr. Tiogaba.
everything to shut you up. Exactly. We are aware that when you hold your demonstrations, they take the pressmen to Nick Hotel. We are aware that the long room operation is back at the port. We are aware that cargo is now delivered manually and the state is losing track of warehousing of goods on the port. We are aware that you are not doing manual payment. We have come here to give you a voice. And when we go into the Marina Hall, we want you to speak your mind. This nonsense will stop. In the year 2020, if they don't stop, the agitation that we have started today will be intensified. So we are here to assist you to. This nonsense will stop. In the year 2020, if they don't stop, the agitation that we have started today will be intensified. So we are here to assist you to fight the universal system, so that the state does not lose money, so that you are able to clear your goods and get something to go and feed your family, so that importers don't come here and sleep here for days. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are proceeding to the marinas to have our meeting. But Honorable Steel Gabra Ghana has been selected to host the African Continental Free Trade Area. This means that export and import systems is one of the most efficient on the African continent. So anything that deprives us of revenue, anything that makes trade of goods inefficient and hazardous, anything that will not make Ghana the #1 import-export destination in Africa is something that we must all be concerned about. So all the details of what is happening, you must see with your eyes the confusion that is physically facing Ghanaians who have goods to clear. And whatever the technology that is not working, whatever the administrative lapses that are not making it possible, whatever the financial implications, Ghana is the loser. Ghana is the loser. And so we want to go to a position where the losses that are being incurred by the government, by all of us as a country, and by bodies and exporters, because if it takes 24 more days for any goods to leave this port,
Now, the flag bearer of Ghana's largest opposition party, John Mahama, is urging Ghanaians to participate in the upcoming voters' registration exercise in their numbers. A Supreme Court decision yesterday means that the current voter ID card will not be accepted in the registration. Despite his disappointment at the decision, Mr. Mahama late last night said Ghanaians with a Ghana card and the passport should not stay away from the exercise.
We must always be willing to hold leaders accountable for bad decisions that impose difficulties on our citizens. And this is one such clear opportunity to do so. Do not let the several hours you may spend at the registration center get you to surrender your right to vote. If you do so, that will only embolden those who seek to disenfranchise you. To the few who have passports and Ghana cards, please make use of them and register. And to those who get the opportunity to register, I implore you to assist your brothers, your sisters, and compatriots by guaranteeing for them, even if it takes a bit more of your time. Please see this as a civic duty and your contribution to the efforts to preserve the right to vote. This way, we will undo the grand conspiracy to deprive us of the inalienable right to vote, and we will, in the process, send a clear signal that it is only we, the people, who will decide who gets the opportunity to lead this country and not governments we elect or state agencies who make themselves pliant accomplices in their attempt to disenfranchise us.
But are you prepared to register? Here are the views of some Ghanaians on the streets of Accra.
Now that everything is set, I'm ready to register, so I will urge everybody who has a Ghana card and other necessary documents should also go and register, because that will make you valid and register. Yeah.
But yourself, do you have the Ghana card?
I have a Ghana card.
Okay. So when are you looking forward to go register?
As soon as they open, then I will just have a day and then go and register.
Well, I used to have my Ghana card, but then it got lost with my wallet. So as of now, unless someone goes and guarantee for me that after he or she has registered, then I can also register for it. Well, actually, I'll be waiting on either my dad or my mom to go and then register. So when they do, maybe then the next day I might also register as well.
I have the Ghana card and I'm ready to go and then, go process my whatever, like the voters register the card, and then I hope everything is going to go smoothly and we're going to have a peaceful, kind of registration. Yeah, that is all I can say.
I have both documents, both the national ID and also a passport. So it is easier for me to register, and I can also guarantee for other people. I want to use this opportunity to encourage every Ghanaian to go and register, because it's a national assignment. And for that matter, it is very important for every responsible citizen to participate in the registration exercise. Thank you.
Registration, the mayor, no judgment in the Emami. If maybe I don't know, in pain for a trip, I want to consider you maybe. Why shall I be? Oh, you are be in pain for the brain, I can say, oh, may I in particular, I mean, a trimano, not that I'll say, because in this year, I don't call on future no diago. In Tinkamedia in the Papamono, in Camestras and pain for San Rubio. Na dada na ye do to abana nka ye mfa nto, because and say she secretary dia ye kofa e dia akoye sa adwuma bio o menso yin sika de bon ho bla na ye di san yo men nyina be ye ya e sika say intermediate madwum kwa ne de nka ye di dada na ye adwuma nka be bo men, because ya re ya ba ye san akotentam so na ya bo apreso ne ade yesu ye bibi.
So you just heard the views of some Ghanaians, particularly the final person speaking, Akan, saying that he will register, but he was disappointed in yesterday's ruling, stating fears because of the coronavirus outbreak. Now, the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice wants the Electoral Commission to have a robust system in place that will ensure that all Ghanaians successfully registered in its exercise commencing on Tuesday. The Commission is urging Ghana's Electoral Commission to have an effective backup system in place to ensure it registers all eligible Ghanaians. Now, they argue that in the past, the EC in the past has been constrained with faulty equipment that has slowed down registration and the voting process. Speaking at a forum organized by the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs, Joseph Whittal says a robust registration and voting system that is inclusive is the only way of avoiding conflict.
To build consensus on key electoral issues of concern using the human rights-based approach. If you visit, you read the African Union Election Observer Mission report, you see that clearly recommended to the state of Ghana. It says it recommends that the EC put in place a strategy to give more access to the EC's decision-making process and formalization of the existing IPAC as regular platforms for building consensus on issues of concern. This will strengthen participation and consensus building with the major political stakeholders. There have been issues with IPAC. These issues are not political. They are human rights issues. It's about participation and consensus building. If we have a system that has worked in the past, we should look at how we can strengthen that system. Because that is the way to go, learning the lessons of the past. Now, again, EC should provide backups to deal with potential challenges that may be posed by faulty DMVs. The whole essence is not to disenfranchise eligible voters, maybe starting with the registration and later on at polling stations in the main election.
Our condolences to Dr. Kuto. Now, elsewhere, the family of the late presiding member of OFORIKROM Municipal Assembly in Ashanti Region has appealed to the Ghana Health Service to make public details of his COVID-19 status. Media reports suggest William Kwabena Boateng died of COVID-19 just a week after his medical director brother at Kwadaso SDA Hospital in Kumasi passed and later tested positive for the virus. Traumatized relatives, however, say they have received no official communication from the Ghana Health Services on the matter. Spokesperson Samuel Amofa Kodua tells JoyNews any further delay can impede contact tracing if indeed the man had COVID-19.
Mr. Boateng passed in the morning of last Sunday when the family had gathered to observe 1 week of his brother, Dr. Harry Owusu Boateng's demise. Mr. Kodua describes as devastating the passing of the two brothers within a space of 1 week, and media reports on them as speculative.
Harry was gone. So we were there. I was there with my auntie and the husband. I was seated in between the two of them. Then I had the information that this is what has happened. So we quickly had to whisk them into their rooms to psych them up and broke the news. And it was terrible. A more terrible scene was to follow when we had to go and bring the late Willie's wife from their residence to Kwamo. And it was beyond me. Even though I am trained not to shed tears, but I could feel the pains within me. And when the wife came and she was told, it's not been easy. And you know, people will say COVID, 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 but let's ask ourselves, how many of us have even tried to get closer to the family and console? But we are so quick to talk about he died of COVID, he died of COVID. This is the time we even need the assistance of a psychologist to psych the old man and the wife up. And the survivors, look, if you were there and you saw the way a manner Willie's mother-in-law, she was even crying more than the daughter, you will appreciate the extent, the enormity of our loss.
Mr. Kodua says the family has, unfortunately, been left in suspense due to delayed release of the COVID-19 test result. He wants health authorities to come clear the air on the matter.
We lost Willie on Sunday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 6 days now, nothing. So the media houses are speculating. We want Ghana Health Service, notwithstanding their tight schedule, to try and get over to us. Let us know if he is COVID positive. We have already lost a hero in Harry. If the COVID still wants to disturb us and is taking Willie away, we don't have any problem. But the uncertainty is what is disturbing us. If it is positive, they should let us know so that they start the contact tracing. Because people came, they have left for their various places of abode. Now you wait until 2 weeks or more before you come out with the results, by which time the community spread would have started. So we want them to act timeously, because if the event they don't do that, they will rather be spreading the disease and not you and I.
From Kumasi, for JoyNews, Oimintewia reporting.
And may the souls of Willie and Harry have, as their family call them, rest in peace. It's still live on JoyNews today. Business is up next with Daryl. Daryl, what's coming up?
Hi, Daniel. We've got some good news on a Ghanaian fishing vessel that was reportedly hijacked by pirates off the coast of Benin. Details after this break.
Ghanaian
Hello everyone, welcome to Business. We have some good news this afternoon. A Ghanaian fishing vessel with six crew members on board, which was reportedly hijacked by pirates, has been rescued. The vessel was attacked off the coast of Benin, according to news sources. But the latest is that the ship and crew have been rescued and have been brought back to Tema. Director of Naval Operations, Captain Derek Atashi, has been speaking with my colleague, Fred Dubo.
Afternoon, we got the information from the Ministry of Fisheries that one of the Ghanaian fishing vessels has been hijacked. That's the Panofi Frontier. I mean, we're being trailed by some speedboats. And we quickly activated our information sharing mechanism. We shared information with the navies in the region, and then the ECOWAS multinational maritime coordination centers in Cotonou and Accra for prompt action. But about an hour later, we got information that the vessel was actually hijacked, and some crew members were kidnapped. 6 crew members, to be precise, 5 Korean nationals, and then 1 Ghanaian national.
How frequent does this happen, please?
Piracy in recent years, recent years, dating more than 10 years ago, has been on the ascendancy a bit. This incident happened in Benin waters. Benin has also been, the waters has been a bit notorious recently for a lot of attacks. Just a couple of weeks ago, there was a suspicious attack in Benin. And about 2 weeks before that, the Nigerian Navy successfully rescued a vessel that had pirates on board. Currently, they are being tried. But I will say that it is a bit on the increase. I cannot put a finger on how often for me to say maybe it is so many times in a month or so many times in a week. But we have realized that it's been on the ascendancy.
Does it have any economic implication for the country? And if it does, can we quantify that?
Yes, from my side, it will be difficult to quantify it, but I know it definitely has economic implications. Let's take this vessel that was hijacked, for example. It's registered to fish in Ghana waters as well as Benin waters. So it left to go and fish in Benin waters, and it's been hijacked. It will mean that fisheries industry in Ghana will be affected, and thereby affecting the economy of Ghana. But then any piracy incident that happens in the region makes insurance premium to go up every time there's an incident. So in a region, the more attacks we have, then it means that the incident will go up. So these are some of the economic impact it will have on the country.
Other news, the CEO of Magdan Group of Companies, Daniel Macaulay, says about 70% of the nation's youth who want to venture into entrepreneurship are either looking in the wrong direction, whilst most of them are not ready to be mentored by successful entrepreneurs. He has been sharing his thoughts on the business edition of PM Express.
It depends on the master plan we put together to help. You know, are you giving the money to companies to help their employees, or you are giving money to angel investors like me to build others?
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I believe this government was very proactive from the beginning to say, look, this money is about 600 million to small and medium-scale businesses. But if you ask me, that money should just go to the small-scale businesses.
The micro ones, the very small ones.
The micro ones.
Not the medium-sized ones.
Not the medium-sized ones.
But they're also bleeding.
No, the money is too small. It's an effort from the government. And look, the engine of growth in this country are in the small and the medium-scale businesses. There are thousands of them. And if you look at the statistics, Ghana in Africa has the highest number of entrepreneurs. Check the statistics. Those having kiosks, selling. We have more women entrepreneurs than men, and in small businesses. And I believe that the Ministry of Business Development and other few agencies are looking at those people. They are those I'm also picking to build. And if every year I can build 10 years, we're talking about building 100 businesses. I'm having 100 CEOs under my umbrella. I think I should be proud of that.
Isn't that too ambitious, McDaniel?
Not at all. I mean, it's easy.
I mean, big businesses are even collapsing. They're going down. I mean, to put that as your focus, they're going to support, what, 100 businesses? I mean, startups?
Well, it takes every year. It's not that I'm going to do all at the same time.
All right, and so that was Daniel Macaulay. We've got more coming up on the marketplace in about 15 minutes. It's back to you in the studio.